Okay, here we go. Once again, DCU may have found their Hal Jordan. So it looks like it's going to be Kyle Chandler. And this is looking more likely to be a done deal. So, of course, they were always looking for an older actor. Apparently wanted an A-list star. And maybe it looks like the Josh Brolin thing was real, but he passed on it. So now it's Kyle Chandler, who I wouldn't say is a big A-list name as Josh Brolin, but of course he got a lot of notice for Friday Night Lights, stuff like that. So, Emmy winner. He won some Emmys. Kyle Chandler is set to play the legendary member of the Green Lantern Corps in the series. So he'll be, the veteran Hal Jordan mentoring Jon Stewart. So, Lanterns, which scorched, not yet, scored a straight-to-series order in June after years of development. Well, there's been a lot of development on a Green Lantern series, a Green Lantern Corps series, and so on and so forth. I wouldn't say it's connected to this, but this plot of Hal Jordan mentoring a younger Jon Stewart, that does go back a ways, which was originally supposed to be a feature film. And the rumor was they were looking at Tom Cruise to play Hal Jordan. But DCEU's over, so they dust it off and rearrange it for what they're going forward with in the DCU. So anyway, it'll be headed up by Chris Mundy of Ozark. All right, good series. Damon Lindelof. And they put Watchmen in there. I would take that out. His Watchmen was pure garbage. That's a bad sign. And then to make matters worse, the comic book version of Bad Robot, Tom King. Just, for God's sakes, don't listen to him. The trio are co-writing and executive producing the series, with Mundy serving as showrunner. So hopefully Chris Mundy is the main guy in charge, and maybe Lanterns has a shot. So falls under the HBO banner, and the series is looking to shoot from next January to June. So it's late, which adds more to it that I think this Kyle Chandler thing is perhaps a done deal, because you got to have your cast locked in. Now, earlier saw a rumor that a young actor by the name of Kelvin Harrison Jr. might be the Jon Stewart, and he probably is, because they need to get the Jon Stewart character cast quickly to hit that January mark to get going. So anyway, the Lanterns is described as having a gritty, true detective vibe as it focuses on Jordan reluctantly mentoring a younger Lantern, Jon Stewart, who in DC publishing history was one of the company's first black superheroes. The story sees the two characters investigating an Earth-bound, because it's cheap to film on Earth, murder with larger implications. Sources say that DC and the producers are looking for a young, more fresh-faced actor for the role to play opposite an older and bigger name. So anyway, there you go. So DC, yes, was looking for a movie star, Josh Brolin, but he passed, and Chris Pine and Ewan McGregor were tossed around, but it didn't happen that way. So of course, Chandler known for Friday Night Lights, Netflix, The Door Bloodline. I didn't see it. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong. Yeah, I did see those. I forgot all about him being in them because King Kong and Godzilla were the stars. But he was in First Man, the Neil Armstrong movie. So there you go. Anyway, yeah, he could probably do it. He'd probably be all right. I guess they want to leave the gray in his hair, but Hal Jordan's hair was always a more lighter brown, not black, But whatever, it doesn't matter. So I guess they'll suit him up, put him in there. But again, this is one of those things where I still think Hal Jordan will not survive this series, and Jon Stewart will go forward as the main Green Lantern for any potential Justice League and that sort of thing, should the DCU survive long enough for that to take place. And that's unfortunate because there's a lot of Hal Jordan stories that won't get done, but I'd rather they just abandon all that and dwell mostly on Jon Stewart stories. There's a very great character development narrative for him that came out of the Cosmic Odyssey series, which would be a great story for the Jon Stewart character, rather than just borrowing stuff from the Hal Jordan, which, of course, there's way more Hal Jordan stories because of decades of his character. But you're not going with him, so, you need to utilize Jon Stewart stories. Now, it's probably a larger audience to it, and having grown up in the 90s, and people like that would have liked the Justice League cartoon series that spun out of Batman the Animated Series and Superman and all that. And, of course, that Justice League had Jon Stewart as its Green Lantern. So, it stands to reason might be a more welcoming reception for Jon Stewart to be the main Green Lantern for their overall shared universe endeavor. So, that could work out too. But, stick to Jon Stewart stories if you're just going to use Jon Stewart. So anyway, there we go. It looks like Kyle Chandler is Hal Jordan. Then next week it'll be someone else. But sooner or later you run out of time. I mean, we're getting close to January, so you got to have your guy ready to go.